Right. Hello. So today, gentle yoga. That's what we have in store for you. So we need to prepare the body ready for some movement. So come into a standing position and take your feet just comfortable distance apart. If you have a mirror, that would be really handy, that you can just turn to your side and see your posture in the mirror. If you don't have a mirror, it doesn't matter at all. But I want you to shrug your shoulders up and down. It's a big shrugging movement. And then just leave your arms alongside your body. And now focus on the lower part of the body. So lift your toes off the floor and spread the toes really wide. And keep the toes wide and then lower them down to the mat. And just feel your weight. So you're right in the center of your feet. And then close your eyes for a moment or two. And with your eyes closed, take a breath in and come into your lateral breathing. So let the ribs expand out to the side. And exhale, draw the breath down into your belly. So a couple more breaths like that, breathing in with the expansion and exhaling. One more time, breathing in, expanding and exhaling. Lovely. Now, as you open your eyes, lift the toes off the floor again and spread the toes wide. Even the little toes, you're pushing, you're getting as much separation between each toe as you can. And then lower the toes to the floor and just lift your heels off the mat and come up into your balance, holding, and then lower down. And again, and lift up as light as possible and lower down. Imagine you're being pulled up by a little thread that's on the top of your head and lower down. So not leaning forward, not leaning back, and lowering down. Lovely. Going for two more just like that. And down. One more time, breathe and lift and lower down. And now circle your arms. And again, circle. Now as you do this circling movement, take control of the center of your body. So you're drawing the navel into the spine. And you're standing up as tall as possible. Eyes at eye level, so you're looking straight ahead of you. One more on each side. And now open your arms wide and spread the fingers. And then tuck your thumbs underneath and push the hands back. Squeeze your shoulder blades. And then bring your elbows in towards the ribs. Turn the palms facing up. And then open the arms wide and come back to the center. And again, open wide and center. So the elbows are glued to the sides. And you might find that this restricts your range of movement, but you're looking to get into those shoulder blades. So you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lovely. And again. And one more. Now hold this one and then reach your arms out to the sides. Bring your elbows in and come back to the center. And again, out to the side and extend and back to the center. Now while you're doing this, make some tension with the upper arm. So you're squeezing the muscles around the bones. They're not lazy arms at all. It's quite an active movement. Going for one more time and extend. Now tuck the thumbs and push your hands behind you. So a small pulsing movement. The chest is lifted. You're still looking straight ahead. You're lifting out of your heels, bringing those hands together. Just two more and then release and soften your knees Just a gentle softening of the knees, and then straighten your legs. And again, exhale, knees over toes, and lift. And exhale, and lift. Now you're slowly coming a little bit lower down. You're squeezing the glutes. You're keeping your back nice and flat and sticking the bottom out behind you. Make sure your knees are heading over your toes. You're not doing a knock-kneed type of situation. Lovely. Just warming up the knees and the hip joints. So a couple more. One more. And then bring yourself all the way up. And slide your right foot in front of you. So the toes are on the floor. You're going to lift and lower. It's not a big range of movement. The toes are pointed. One more, and now take your leg behind you. Same movement, lift and lower. Squeeze from the glute. Try not to lean forward. Keep your eyes looking straight ahead. You're clenching into this right glute. One more, and come back in front. This time you're going to flex the heel and lift and lower. So if the heel flexed, you're lifting the toes. Just one more, and release, coming onto the left side. So left toes in front with the toes pointed, lift and lower. Just sliding up and down. So it's all about balance and posture. You're keeping the body completely upright. Two more. And as you finish, slide the leg behind you, still with the toes pointed to lift and lower. Not leaning forward, staying vertical with the upper body, squeezing into the left glute. Just two more, and come back in front and flex that left heel as you lift and lower. So there's a lot of balance needed here, and posture, a little bit of concentration. One more, and then bring your feet side by side. Soften those knees again, and come down and lift. And again, exhale and lift. Exhale and lift. Two more. On your next one, just hold it there and take a small up and down pulse. For 3, 2, 1, and come all the way up. As you come up, eyes straight ahead, lift your heels off the floor, coming up into balance. And then lower your heels down and bend your knees. And lift. And again, exhale and lift. For 2 more. On this next one, pause and pulsing, coming up and down, squeezing the glutes, drawing the navel into the spine. For 3, 2, 1, and come all the way up, coming up onto your toes again, lift the heels up high, and then gently lower down to the floor. Bring your arms in front. Now as you turn to the right, slide your right arm and open it out to the right. Let your head turn and then come back to the center. Left side, you slide the left arm along the right, then open out wide and come back to the center. And again. And open out wide and come back to the center. Same on the left side. open out wide, and come back to the center. Now this time, bend your knees and open out wide. Maybe you find you can go a little wider, and then come back to the center. Onto the left side with the knees bent. You can twist a bit more into the waist and come back to the center. And one more on each side. Breathe into your chest and center. One more on the left. And come back to the center, and then stand yourself all the way up. We're going to do a little bit of a stretch for the quads. So quite a good idea to bring yourself to a wall if you've got a handy wall. Now grab hold of your right foot. If this isn't available to you, what you can do is use one of your stretchy bands. So I happen to have this little mini band here, and I can just tuck it over the foot and then bring my heel in towards me. So you want to line your two thighs up, so the two knees side by side, and you're looking straight ahead, still thinking of your posture. Push that right hip slightly forward so that you're stretching into the right thigh. One more breath, and then gently release. And now take that same foot in front of you, and with a flat back, breathe in and exhale, fold over your right leg, just to the point where you can feel the hamstrings stretching. So you want to keep your neck nice and long, you're flattening the back, drawing your navel into your spine, and then gradually coming all the way up so that you can change and do the same on the other side. So grabbing hold of that left foot, whether you use the band or whether you grab hold of the foot with your hand. Knees are side by side, body is upright. Pushing the left hip forward this time. Try not to collapse into the right leg. So lift out of both legs. Just one more breath. And then gently release. Take the left foot in front. Breathe in and exhale with a flat back, folding over that left leg, just to the point where you can feel the hamstrings stretching, drawing the navel into your spine. And then gently come all the way up to stand. Lovely. So we're going to start with the Pilates section now, coming down onto the floor. So you can come down however is comfortable for you. Maybe you need to get to a wall again to come down. And if you're feeling a little bit more flexible, you could come down in a very controlled manner. But really it's not important. It's the fact that you can get to the floor is the most important thing. So having got down onto a seated position, take both knees to the right and then roll onto your right side and eventually come onto your back. So first of all, you're in rested position. So knees are pointing up to the ceiling, feet hip distance apart, and you can pop your fingertips on your hip points and your thumbs on your rib. So your first breath, as you breathe in, you arch the lower back, make a gap so that you can feel fresh air underneath your lower back, inhaling. Then as you exhale, you gently push the back to the floor and slide the hip points towards the ribs. So going for that again, inhaling, arching the lower back, and exhaling, opposite movement. So we'll do this a couple of times. So you're lubricating your spine, preparing it for some movement. So going nice and slowly, really use the breath here, inhaling as you arch and exhaling as you tuck under. And again, inhaling to arch and exhaling. And now come to a neutral spine. So not arching and not exhaling. Back nice and flat on the floor. Take your arms alongside your body, little fingers down and thumbs on top. And then tuck the tailbone. And this time slide yourself up into bridge pose, shoulder bridge. So you want to feel that you're pushing into the heels, you're squeezing your glutes. Imagine you're pushing the knees together, not because you want them to touch, but so that you're activating the inner thighs. Take a nice breath here, and then exhale and slowly lower down, upper spine, eventually into the mid-spine, and finally let the tailbone come to the floor and take a rest. Inhale, exhale, same movement again, tucking the tailbone and gradually peeling up. So it's the articulation of the spine that you're interested here. But as you come into your full expression of the movement, you want to have a nice ski slope. So the knees being the highest point, then the hips, then the shoulders. And there's some tension through the glutes. You're squeezing the glutes. And imagine that you're drawing your heels towards your fingertips so that you can activate through the hamstrings. Take a breath, then exhale, upper spine, eventually mid-spine, and eventually the tailbone, and then rest flat on the floor. So we're going to do this a couple more times. Breathing in, exhaling, tucking the tailbone, and peeling up into bridge pose. Holding, squeezing. So it is a position of strength. And you can slightly squeeze the shoulder blades. You can push the elbows into the floor and push your shins away from you. One more breath. And then exhale, roll down upper spine into mid-spine, eventually the tailbone, and come all the way down. Lovely. Going to do one more just like that in the same way. Tucking from the tailbone, gradually peeling yourself up, pausing, and now rolling down. So we're making it more dynamic this time. Breathing in, exhaling, tucking the tailbone and lift. And exhale and roll it down. Now just because you're going quicker doesn't mean you want to lose the precision of the movements. You're still taking your time to go through each section of the spine. You're not skipping any area, especially if you find you've got a sticky place. It's quite common to have a sticky place around the lumbar spine, but you're still trying to work through it. And you're breathing through it as well. Keeping the back of the neck really long. You can slightly push the head into the floor and rolling down. Lovely. Going for one more just like that. Tucking the tailbone and lifting up and then rolling down onto your back. And this time bring your knees in towards you. Just gently pull the knees in and circle your knees around. Lovely, and then circle in the other direction. And then bring your feet to the floor. Now shift your feet about 6 inches further away from you and lift your toes off the mat. So the heels are pushing into the floor. This time you're going to hinge at the hips, not rolling, but just hinge at the hips to lift up. Squeeze into the gluteals, pull the heels towards you to activate the hamstrings, and then the hinge at the hips to lower down. So that's the movement. You want to keep the toes lifted the whole time, so there's a sense of tension in your shins. You're going to hinge to lift up, squeeze the glutes, and lower down. Lovely. Now if you want a little more, each time you come up, just bring your arms towards the ceiling and then lower down. Remembering you're hinging from the hips rather than rolling through the spine. And each time you come up, you feel as if you're pulling the heels towards you, which helps to add to the tension in your hamstrings. You're engaging those hamstrings as well as the glutes. And you're exhaling and lowering down. Great. And exhaling. Notice whether you feel weaker one side or the other, and try to address that imbalance. So not always leaning into one foot. Try and press equally into both feet. Just going to do a couple more like this. Exhaling. And then we'll finish on this next one. Lower the hips to the floor, and again bring your knees in towards you and gently massage your back into the floor. Lovely. Now we've worked on the hamstrings a little bit, so you're now going to floss them out. Place the left foot on the mat, and then you're going to gently straighten and bend the right leg. So you're just reaching towards the ceiling and bending. With your hand around the back of the thigh, you can feel the hamstrings, so that you can feel the tension as you straighten, and then they soften as you bend. One more like that. Now flex the foot, same movement. So you're kicking the heel away, and again you should feel quite a nice, pleasing sensation in the back of the leg. Just two more. One last time. Place the right foot next to the left, bring the left knee in. So you begin with plantar flexion, so the toes are pointed. And you can push your leg into your hands and feel the hamstrings contracting and releasing. Back of them, your back is nice and flat on the floor. Just one more. And now flex the foot, same movement, push the heel. And again, push the heel. Just two more. And release. So feet on the mat, we're going to come into the hundreds, but we're going to do it in a slightly modified way. So modification one, you're rested on the mat with your knees bent, and bring your arms just off the floor, palms facing down. Now lengthen into the fingertips, you're bringing the shoulders away from your ears. As you lengthen, you can feel some tension through the belly. So imagine that you're pulling your belly down to the floor, and this is option one. So you're going to breathe in and breathe out. But you do need to feel this engagement with the belly. So you're pulling the belly down to the floor, reaching into your fingers, option one. So holding this for a good 5 breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Now without collapsing, bring your right knee into knee fold. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. So it doesn't look like much, but you're really feeling this through the belly. One more breath in and breathing out. Lower the right foot, straight away the left foot comes up. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember, you're reaching into those fingers, you're pulling the navel into the floor. Breathing in and breathing out for 2 more. And breathing out just one more time and breathing out. Bring both knees into knee fold and draw them in towards you. Now as you gently hold around the back of the legs, Straighten both legs and bend. And straighten and bend. So you're flossing both legs at the same time. Just one more. Bring your feet to the floor. Take your right arm alongside your ear. Drop the knees to the right. Roll them to your right. And then bring yourself safely up to a seated position. So we're going to go on to the roll up in a modified version. So feet hip distance apart, hands around your thighs, sitting up nice and tall. Take a breath. Then as you exhale, round the pelvis and come back. And then to come forward, keep rounded, bring your head towards the knees, and then bring yourself up. So you're not coming up until you've got your head between your knees, then you're lifting up. So let's begin again. Flat back, breathing in, exhaling, rounding the back, coming back, you're pulling on the thighs, then bringing your head towards the knees, and flat back to sit up. And again, exhaling and diving forwards, coming up to a flat back. So this is a safe way to exercise your spine and mobilize the spine, because you're not putting any weight into the spine at all. So you're exhaling and rolling up. Now in the next couple, try to feel it through the belly. So really draw the navel into the spine here and round and scoop and come up. Breathing in, exhaling to come back. Breathing in, exhaling to roll forward and lift. So make it into a 2 breath. Exhaling as you come back, breathing in. Exhaling to come forward. And notice what effect that has on you, the exhalation. You're squeezing through the belly. You're exhaling and squeezing to come forward. And that really is the essence of Pilates, breathing out on the greatest effort. Exhaling. Lovely. And again, exhaling. One last time in this sequence, exhaling, then roll yourself forward. This time take the feet a little wider and just come in between your knees. See if you can get your hands to the floor, and you're gently stretching your lower back here. And just breathe through it. Breathe into the back of your body, if you see what I mean. Use that lateral breath. And now gently curl yourself up. So we're going to do a modification of this exercise involving a rotation. So inhale, as you exhale, roll back. Breathe in, reach your right arm. Exhale, open right. Inhale to the center and exhale, roll yourself up. So that is the sequence. Inhaling, exhale to roll back. Inhale, open the left arm. Exhale to the center. And then exhale to roll yourself up. Lovely. And don't skimp on any part of it. So this is 3 separate movements requiring 3 separate breaths. So much better to do one of these really well than to do 15 of these and just flail around. Each segment needs its own breath. And again, you're exhaling in the initial roll down. You're inhaling to open your arm. And then you're exhaling to bring yourself up. And again, exhaling, opening wide as you breathe in. Exhaling and rolling yourself up. One more each side. And open to the center as you exhale and lift. One last time. Exhaling back to the center and roll yourself up. Feet and knees a little bit wider. Sink in between your knees. Get a nice bit of a stretch into your lower back. And then bring yourself all the way up. Now I'm just going to turn to the side so that you can see what's happening. This is hip flexor movement. So your fingers are behind you, you're coming into a little tripod. Take your feet a bit wider and the knees a bit wider. Then drop both knees over to the right and come back to the center. Drop both knees to the left and center. So you're feeling this through the hips and center. Try not to collapse with the upper body. So lift out of the shoulders. Keep your arms straight. And this top knee, you push it down to the floor and center. And again, you push it down to the floor and center. So you're twisting through the waist, using internal and external obliques. One more on each side. And now come back to the center. Bring the soles of your feet together. Keep your hands where they are and just push your knees down to the floor. Not expecting them to come to the floor, but just get a sense of relief through the groin area. And then bring your knees back into the center. So you've still got your feet wide apart. And this time you're going to take your hands in front of you. Drop the knees. And center. And again, drop the knees and center. Lovely. And again, drop and center. From one side to the other, a smooth movement. And breathing out. Just going for one more each side. And then release. Take your legs out in front of you and just wiggle those legs around to get rid of the tension there. Lovely. Now take your feet wider apart into a big V shape and flex your toes. Bring your fingertips together. And so you spread the fingers, your elbows are wide, and take your thumb onto your chest. So the thumb does not come away from the chest for this spinal twist. So breathe in. As you exhale, rotate to your right. So because you've got the thumb there, you notice you can't go too far. You're really using the waist. And now come back to the center. Make sure you're sitting up as tall as you possibly can be. Breathing in, exhaling to the left. So it's a slow, 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 controlled movement. And come back to the center. Lovely. And again, exhale to the right. And center. Exhale to the left. As you're doing your rotation, try and draw the thigh bones back into their sockets. And center. And again, exhale. And center. Now this time, as you exhale to the left, see if you can almost lift your heel, left heel off the floor. And center. Exhale to the right. Almost lifting the right heel off the floor and center. And again, exhale left. Don't leave out the rotation. Keep the rotation just as wide. And center. Exhale right. And center. One more on each side. And exhale time. And then come back to the center. Bring your hands to the floor and lean forward. Stretch into those inner thighs and push your heels away. And then roll yourself up. Lovely. Now slide your feet together and you're going to come down onto your back. So if you need to, come the safe way. So roll onto one side, then onto your back. And you end up in easy pose again. So this is easy pose, knees bent, feet on the floor, and back rested. Now as you exhale, bring your right knee into knee fold. And then exhale, bring the left knee into knee fold. Hold it there. Then lower the right foot, pausing. And lower the left foot and pausing. This time on the left side, left knee into knee fold. Right knee into knee fold. Left foot down. And right foot down. So we're practicing this in a really slow manner so that you get used to the precision of the movement. Exhaling right knee. Exhaling left knee. Exhaling right foot. So it's all about control. Exhaling left. And again, exhale left foot. Exhale right foot. Exhale left foot, exhale right foot. Going to do one more sequence around on the right side. Exhale left, on the right side, exhale left. Last one round of the left side and right, left side and right. And then take your feet a bit wider apart and just roll the knees from one side to the other. So you're getting some movement into your lower back. Great. And you will have one side that's easier to use than the other, one side that's flexible, one side that's stronger. It's all, part of the human condition. This is what we are. We're not perfectly balanced individuals. Right, bring one knee into knee fold. Bring the other knee into knee fold. And now take your arms wide out to the side. Turn your palms up so that you resist gripping the floor with your hands. And we're going to do single leg circle, working on the right knee first. So you're going to open the knee out to the side, circle, and come back to the center. And again, open wide, circle around, and center. So just going for 3 more, keeping it as controlled as that. This left knee does not move at all. It stays perfectly still. One more time on that right side. Come back to the center. And now you're going to take the movement the other way. So circle out and center. That's it. Extend and out and center. So all this movement is coming from the hip. And as you're exhaling with the movement, you feel it through the belly. One last one. And come back to the center. Bring your right foot to the floor, your left foot, and then roll the knees from one side to the other. And now come back to the center. Left knee into knee fold. Right knee into knee fold. Ready for single leg circle on that left side. So out and around. Out and around. Don't be afraid if there's a little bit of clunking and clicking. There certainly is in my hips. Just got to work through it. For one more on this side. Come back to the center and now reverse direction, out and around. Lovely. And around. Keeping the right knee perfectly still. Just one last one. Come back to the center, left foot down and right foot down. This time open your knees wide, keep the soles of the feet together and roll. Let the knees drop from one side to the other. Lovely. And from one leg circle, you're going to bring your knees in together, drop your knees to the right, roll into your right, and bring yourself up onto your side. So we're going to do side bend in a modified way, so don't panic. So heels on the edge of your mat, knees bent, bottom on the edge, and elbow on the edge of the mat. So this is your starting position. Your top hand is here to support you. You're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, you're going to lift the bottom of the floor and lower down. So it's going to feel quite strong in your left shoulder. You're going to do the best you can. So options here, the top hand supports you, or you can take it alongside your body, or you can even bring the arm over your head, and it actually helps with the lifting. So we'll go for 5 of these. Exhale and lower down. Breathe out and lower down. Pull the navel into the spine. Just 2 more. And one last one, and then lower down. Now resting here, take your right arm, and as you exhale, thread it underneath the left, and then reach back up to the ceiling. And again, exhale, keep those knees together, and lift. And you reach as far as you can behind you, drawing the navel in, and lift. Going for 3 more. Breathing. Just 1 more time. And then come all the way up. And now rest down. So you're going to lengthen that arm, the bottom arm. Option 1, your head rests on the arm. Option 2, put something to support or use your hands. And now you're coming into oyster. Lift the right knee and push it down. And again, pull up and push down. So you're pulling from the belly, you're squeezing the glutes. If you place your hand on your glute, you should feel that it's working. It's gripping to bring the knee up and down. Going for 3. See if you can keep a little gap between your waist and the floor. 2. And one last one. Then knees together and walk your hands in and come all the way up. Take your legs out in front of you. And again, just woggle the legs around. And then ready to come onto the other side for side bend. So heels and bottom and elbow line up with the edge of the mat. Bracing through the belly, breathing in, and exhale, lift and lower. That's it. So push with the elbow into the floor and lower. Keep your neck long. Try not to hold any tension in the neck. Just 3 more. Breathe out. And breathe out. And one last one. And then release. Lovely. And now, what did we do last time? So from the side bend, come all the way down to the floor. Straighten your bottom arm. You're going to pull the top knee up and lower it down. So pull from the belly. And again, pull and down. Keep the heels together. For 3 and 2, make sure this gluteal is engaged. One last one. Now we missed out these thread the needle. So come back with your elbow on the floor, on the edge of your mat. Inhale. As you exhale, reach underneath. And then open up. And exhale, really reach as far as you can, don't be afraid of it. And come all the way up. Exhaling, drawing the navel in and lift. So try not to collapse into the floor with your upper body, lifting it away from the mat. Make sure your head is turning with the spine. Going for 2 more. And one last one. And then bring yourself all the way up, hands on the floor. Come up so that you're looking straight ahead. Take your legs out in front and just move through the legs. Lovely. And then you're going to come onto your hands and your knees. Now, some of you won't want to be on hands and knees, so you can do a version of this in a standing position, or you can even do it on a prone position, lying on the floor. We're going to start on hands and knees. Take your right toes out behind you so the toes are touching the floor, and then reach your left hand in front. Left fingers are touching the mat. Now you're going to lift and lower those limbs, but make sure you're drawing the navel into the spine so your center is really switched on. And you pull the legs up and pull the arm. Lovely. Squeezing into the glute. Just 2 more. One last one, and come back to your starting position. Move on to the other side. Extend your right hand and lift and lower. Lovely. And draw the navel in again. Lengthen through the neck. And breathe. Try not to hollow the lower back. That's why you're drawing the navel in, to support the back. Just 1 more. And now sit back into your heels, into pose of a child. Let your chest rest on your thighs. And then make a little pillow with your hands for your forehead. So rather than having the forehead coming down to the floor, you're just supporting it and keeping the neck long and level with the spine. Just 1 more breath and come up onto your hands and your knees. Now again, this can be done in a standing position with your hands against the wall, because we're going to do a modified press up. So have your hands wide and bring your hips a little bit lower. As you breathe in, exhale and lower down. Breathe in and exhale and push up. So 2 breaths. Exhaling to lower down, breathing in. Exhaling to push up. Exhaling down. Exhaling up. Lovely. Exhaling. And exhaling. Going for 3 more. And as you finish this next one, sit back into your heels. Lengthen the back, let your head rest. And now come onto your hands and your knees again. Knees hip distance apart. Circle your hips around again. You can do this from a standing position. Just circling the hips with your hands on your thighs like a tabletop. And now circle the other direction. Be as bold and as big as you like with your circling. And then tuck your toes under and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Push your heels down to the floor. And now walk your hands to your feet. So you end up in a forward fold position. And take a breath in as you exhale, round the back and scoop the belly so that you can roll yourself all the way up to stand. And then look straight ahead. Excellent. So we're going to end up with some balancing sequences like we did at the very beginning. So you're going to take your right foot in front of you. You're going to tap the toes for 3, 2, and 1. Now lift that right leg. Doesn't need to be very high. Just lengthen, holding for 3, and 2, and 1. Now take the toes behind you and tap and lift. Again, trying not to lean forward, staying vertical with the upper body. 3, 2, 1, and then hold that leg, looking straight ahead. Feel as light as possible for 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's go straight onto the other side. Left foot in front and tap and lift. One more, and then hold that left leg, broaden through the upper body. And now take the left leg behind you as you tap and lift. 3, 2, 1. Now lift that leg, holding your balance, breathing through. Just 2 more breaths. And then feet side by side. And now circle your right knee. And come back to the center. Now circle the other direction. It's all about your balance and your joint mobility. 1 more and release. Same on the other side. Left knee. Just 1 more, and now circle in the other direction. One last one, and bring your feet side by side. And now reach your left arm across, lift that left heel, and center. Reach your right arm across, lift your right heel. And again, left side and reach. And right side and reach. 1 more on each side. And then come back to the center. Place your feet directly underneath your hips. Lift the toes, spread the toes wide. Then place the toes on the floor and lift your heels as you just slide up into balance, holding for 3, 2, 1, and lower down. And again, lift the toes really high, spread the toes wide. Place the toes on the floor and slide up into toe balance, holding for 3, 2, 1, and lower down. 1 more time, lift those toes and separate wide. Then toes to the floor and slide up for 3, 2, 1, and come down. Feet hip distance apart. Shrug your shoulders, arms alongside your body. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Inhale and expand the rib cage. And exhale. And again, breathe in. And exhale, 1 more breath. Exhale and finished. And thank you very much for joining me, and see you next Thursday. Brilliant. Bye.